What's my homies, DJ80 here, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Equinox Pulse Tube Lithium light. Now on my channel you will see a video for the Equinox Pulse Tube that you plug in. This one is a standalone battery operated one, so I thought we'd have a look and see what we've got. So it comes in this Equinox tube box, and inside the box we get the Pulse Tube itself. We get a remote control, 2 clips, 3 little legs, manual and a charger, and it's all packed up quite nicely in the Pulse Tube box. So to charge them up, you have a little lead that comes out of the bottom of the light and it plugs into your power supply, and then you plug your power supply in and switch it on. So when they're charging, you'll get a red light on the power supply, and it does say in the manual charge for 5 hours maximum. So obviously you just can't leave them charging overnight, for instance, because it's stating quite clearly only charge for 5 hours max. So there must be a reason for that. I don't know if that's because the power supply will overheat or or damage the battery in the light, but there must be a reason that they've stated that. And here you can see one of them has charged already now, and I've got the green light on my charger. So the manual on this says charge for no longer than 5 hours, and that it has a runtime of up to 12 hours on a static colour. So it's got a lot going on. I have just charged this one, so I'm going to try it. Here it is working then. I'll just give you a quick walk around. Obviously this is the back part, and like the others, it is quite bright. So I've got my remote control here, which isn't working. So I've got my remote control here, and you just press the buttons. It's got auto modes as well, so it'll just run through different colours. It doesn't have DMX, so it's not DMX capable, but it has got a few auto modes, so it will just run through a few programs. And you can also have it on sound mode as well. I think we have to switch it off and then switch it on, sound mode. No, that looks white, but that's actually pink. Okay, so I eventually got it in sound mode. And what I've discovered is you have to have the remote control quite close to it to switch between these options. And if I switch it to flash mode, he says, okay. So I'm going to have a little play with that. But the trick is to have the remote control quite close to the unit when you want to use the remote control. Okay, so one of the things that I mentioned in the other review is that they're super lightweight, and this is no different. It's pretty much the same unit, except it's got a battery in it, and it is really, really light. And one of the pitfalls of having this is you just go and it tips over. It literally is just So you're going to need to bear that in mind if you're looking at using these in an area that's going to have a lot of people around it, or a lot of movement around it. So that was the Pulse Lithium in action. Let's get to the conclusion then. Right, so a bit disappointed that Equinox have still decided to go with these little plastic feet, that similar to the ones you get on Christmas trees. Over time they're going to break. Maybe consider going for metal ones next time. Also, this little switch here, when you take the legs off, this actually protrudes out, and it's just gagging to be snapped off. So I think, I don't know, maybe a little rocker switch in the middle, but it is what it is. To be fair, it is made of metal, so it might be a bit more sturdy than a rocker switch, but to me it's just sticking out. Anyway, and then another little idea. How about on this end of the pulse tube we have a rubber ring that goes around it. It could be a white rubber ring, that's fine, but just a bit thicker. And then if we had that on the end here, when they do drop, the rubber ring would take the impact and this plastic bit here wouldn't land on the ground. And that will obviously prevent it from shattering or splitting, because it is just plastic. So it's just a little small detail, a white rubber ring around the end here, just will take the impact. So that's the negatives. The positives, obviously, for between 30 and 40 pound, it's quite an impactful little light, and it really makes a difference to your setup. It's bright, it's got lots of different functions on it that you can use with the remote as well. It's quite flexible in how you use it, so if you're not using the legs, you can mount it. I might mount this under one of my booths, just to provide some illumination. And of course, it's battery powered, so there's no plugging in to do when you want to use it. You just recharge it beforehand. And for the price point, between 30 and 40 pounds, you can't really argue at that. But just a couple of small details they need to improve on. And also for those of you who use DMX, obviously it's not DMXable, if that's a minus point for you. But other than that, yeah, for the price, I'm not complaining. I'll probably end up buying a couple of them and just using them as and when I need a little bit of extra impact. But that's been the review of the Equinox Pulse Tube Lithium Light. It's their new battery powered one. And I've been DJ80. I hope that helps. I'll see you next time.